Hello guys, I'm Futureal. I stream 5 days a week over on twitch.tv/Futureal, and in this video we are doing the next segment of the best of the best. In Diablo 2 Resurrected there's 7 classes, and this video series is going to highlight what I personally think is the best magic finding build for all 7 classes. Today we're taking a look at the Assassin, and it is of course going to be the hated and loved Trapsin. If you enjoyed this video, hit me up with a follow and a like and a subscribe. And until the next video, take care, and I will see you guys then. So, this is the Assassin. This is the Trapsin that I have created. We can take a look at the Mercenary. Mercenary is pretty standard with the gear that he has. You have seen this gear on other elemental damage classes. It's the Cryptic Axe, Infinity, the 35 attack speed Andariels with fire resist, and then you have the Fortitude. This is the highest DPS output mercenary for any Infinity user. The gear, obviously we're running the CTA. We have the buffing spirit over here. We are running a Hodo. I will get back to this in a few minutes. The reason why I'm running Hodo. There is an alternative, but I will talk about that in just a little bit. Running a Chammed Shaco over here. Very important that that you have the Cannot Be Frozen, since traps are reliant on attack speed more than FCR. So you definitely need that Cannot Be Frozen. We have a Assassin crafted amulet here. This has to have 8. No, it has to 7 or more FCR on this amulet. Enigma Mageplate. We have a attack speed with some life. Pair of gloves over here. SOJ, Arachnid's Mesh, and we have some Tri-Res boots with a Magic Find. Inventory is Geeds, of course. 7 skillers with life on it. 2020 Annihilus, 2020 Torch, and we have some 7 MFers with a Poison Res. And our resistances are about 200 across the board. 11k Lightning Sentry, and yeah. So, let's talk a little bit about the weapon choice. So you guys obviously know there are claws in the game, right? A good claw is extremely hard to find. It's so hard to find that, in my opinion, for solo play, it might not even be worth it. The reason being that you lose a lot of stats from this. Yes, you're going to have a couple of more skill points. I understand that. You will increase your damage a little bit, but you lose a potential of 40 all-res, and you lose 40 faster cast rate. And this has ramifications. So you do get a little bit more damage, but then how do you get that FCR? You can go for Tranks, pick up 20 FCR there. You can use an Assassin Diadem, but then you lose the life and damage reduction. Magic Find from Harlequin Crest. You can go for an 18 amulet, of course, with a 10 FCR ring. Then you lose a skill here. So there isn't really a great way of utilizing a claw unless the claw is extremely good. So if you look at the Assassin and the claw, I think the only way I would use a claw is if it had 2 to Assassin, 3 to Lightning Sentry, with 40 attack speed, and it had double sockets on it. The double socket would be the way to make up for the lack of all resist, and then you could maybe make up for the lack of FCR in other pieces. But it needs to be an unbelievably good claw before I think it's even worth using, because you have to sacrifice stats in other slots. Right? And this is why I choose to go with a Hodo. because that claw is virtually impossible to find. It's a little bit easier when you're on Battle.net, of course, because you can always trade, and somebody is bound to find something. But for a guide like this, where I suggest what you should go for, I feel safer doing it this way, and then you would rather adapt. If you get your hands on a claw like that, you would just adapt the rest of your gear for it. Okay? The claw would have to have 2 to assassin, 3 to lightning sentry, 40 attack speed, double socket. Preferably 1 or 2 other stats as well. But those 4 need to be there. So that it's a crazy claw, right? So the chance that you get your hands on something like that, it's small. But if you get it, you can adapt the rest of your gear. Greater claws would be great, yeah. That would be absolutely great. And this character, as it stands, is running with 277 magic find. You could potentially have some different gloves here for more magic find, but this is a player's 8 farming build. So I feel like this is a pretty good way of building your characters. Okay, so we are about to do a Baalrun here. For players 8, I think the assassin is pretty strong. I don't have the best of the best gear. Like, my gear is amazing, don't get me wrong, but for exactly this, you can get away with using a claw. But for the Hodo, this is still very strong. So let's just buff up here real quick, and we will go. We have souls. Not particularly good. Okay, so what's important when you're placing down traps is that you put the traps between or behind the units. So you want to put the traps so that the units form a line towards you and the traps shoot through all of them to, like, increase your DPS. We're using this choke down here. So this is a player's 8 run. It's quite the strong character. Okay, so traps back here. We teleport here. Try to save your mercenary. I think we're on about 25 for the sub goal. Right, there we go. So the last pack can be a little bit annoying on the traps in. It kind of depends on if it's lightning enchanted or not. And this is even mana burn, so it is a little bit yikes right now, this one right here. But I think it was okay. Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad here. So that's still a pretty decent run, I would say, for a player's 8, and we obviously do bail on player's 3. He's capped for experience on player's 3. So let's see how fast we can do bail. Well, if he doesn't teleport away. That's pretty decent Baal killing speed as well on this character. Not too bad. But you're obviously the teleport is potentially very, very harmful for the assassin, because, you know, you're placing all your traps on the ground and then the guy teleports over here, you have to recast it. It could be quite inefficient, but all in all, the trap-in is quite strong at Baalruns. Let's head over to some cows. Alright, we went and we sorted ourselves out with a worst leg. Let's do some cows. And we're gonna go back to players 8 for this. You know, obviously we just did the Baal on players 3. Quick little rebuff, and here we go. Yeah, Corpse Explosion isn't OP at all, guys. I wanted to use Shadow because it overrides my traps. It's casting traps of its own, the Shadow Master. So when you have a huge pack like this, try to gather up more cows. And then as soon as the first one dies, you just spam Death Sentry, and now everything is gonna blow up. There we go. What the fuck was that? Oh boy. All of them just got deleted. Yeah, I was so happy with that. I forgot to look after my mercenary.
Yes.
Oh boy. Let me let me get some gold for my mercenary. Oh. That's hysterical. Let me rebuff here real quick. Okay. It's not that great of a pull here, but I guess it's okay. Okay, so we kind of just skip along these. We want to see those really big pulls here, like this one. Okay, let's take a look here. Zing! Yeah, that was that. This is quite a fun character to play in the cow level, I can tell you that. So you want to try and herd these together, and then as soon as you get one kill, you just spam the Death Sentry, and then just kaboom! There we go. Yeah, it literally is just like that. The more the merrier. Boink. Yeah, this is players 8. Yeah, this is the Assassin's best of the best, in my opinion. Take a look at that. Just absolute deletion. Oh. This character is so much fun to play here. Oh my god. Point. Oh man. Ah, this is the Cow King. Okay. Let's see how long he can stay alive. Oh, there we go. Game over.
I can't carry anymore.
Game over. Yeah, but it's first of all, it's players 8, Yavstaker, and secondly, I haven't played this character in a long time. I'm very, very rusty playing this character. So if I had a couple of days to play this character, this would it would look a little bit more fluid than it does now. But it's still a very, very strong character. Oh, the Poison Necromancer is, in my opinion, better than the Javazon. But yeah, those two are the best, of course. They are. So that was that. That was the cow run. Alright, we have re-geared our character a little bit. You see here we have dropped to 7.5. This is now for magic finding, of course, and the entire inventory is full of magic find small charms. We are still running the 1 of 2 FCR breakpoint, and we now have 550 magic find. This is, in my opinion, a really, really good build for the pits, and I'm going to show you guys how a pit run will look. Let's just spam that a bit. You can see we are on players 1. That is the whole point of this this super fast build here. So we're only going after the elites and the champion packs here. You don't really worry about the regular monsters at all, since the elites on players 1, they drop 1 item regardless of player count, and that's why you want to spend the majority of the time actually hunting elites instead of killing regular monsters. Was that an elite pack? I didn't actually see. I think these are regulars. Yeah, that was regular monsters. And we are in level 2. And there we have it. So pretty quick run. Not gonna lie. This is a pretty quick run. I don't know how long that was, but she is very, very fast. So we can go over the build. I do play the build the same way on players 8 and on players 1. We have the full traps with all synergies. We have no fire traps, and we have nothing in martial arts. And in shadow disciplines, I actually have 1 point spare right now because I'm not really sure where to put it. But I basically have 1 in everything, and this is mostly because of Baalruns. You can use Mind Blast to like keep packs in one place because it stuns. So you can place down your 5 traps and you can use Mind Blast to keep the pack there. Particularly on the last wave, that is really nice. So they don't insta-delete your mercenary. Shadow Warrior, Shadow Master, I don't really play with these. They have a tendency to like overwrite your traps. So I don't like them very much. But you can use them if you wish. And then 1 point in Fade so that I'm able to remove curses and stuff like that if I get cursed. Why do I not use Griffins? Okay, that's a good question. So let me just show you here. So this trap is regarded as a minion. So this when these shoot, it's not technically my character that does the damage. It's these. And that means that any type of plus skills, not plus skills, but plus lightning damage, or any type of negative lightning resist is not applied to the minions. So even if I have plus 100% lightning damage on my headpiece, it does nothing to the trap. That is a problem. Because it changes the tooltip. So if I were to equip a Griffins now, it would take the percentage damage from Griffin and add it to this number right here. It would seemingly appear that Griffin would change your damage, because this is technically in your character sheet. But it actually doesn't apply to the trap. So the trap would still use this damage, but you would see the damage plus Griffin, if that makes sense. And also the negative resistance from Griffin wouldn't be applied. Best helm for Assassin, 3 traps, 20 FCR. Well, you don't need the attack speed though. I mean, we're back to the discussion of Claw or Heart of the Oak again. If you go for a 3 trap, 20 FCR, you lose a lot of defensive stats for not much offensive. Like 1 to traps over. You have 1 more skill to traps, but you lose 2 to all skills. You lose 150 life and mana, plus the attributes, 10 attributes. And 10% damage reduction with Magic Find. Like, I can understand if you're talking about a damage point of view, but I'm not trying to make the highest damage character. I'm trying to make the best Magic Finder. And the best Magic Finder has Shaco. It doesn't have +1 to traps. Because I kill more than fast enough with this build as Magic Finding anyway. The circlet is definitely interesting. I have a circlet over here, a 220, with some res on it. It doesn't have double socket, of course. But it could be useful if you want to go for a claw, right? Because then you would need the FCR. But with the current build that I'm running, I don't even need FCR on my gloves. I have so much FCR on these items here that I don't need it. But I'm sure there are ways that you could build this character to do more damage. But I'm questioning if there is a way that you can build this character to be more efficient for magic finding. As far as I'm concerned, this is the best magic finding build for the assassin. I haven't seen anything that works better. Oh, really? It's IS? Okay, let me see how that goes. Does this teleporting seem good to you? To me, this seems like donkey diarrhea. But okay, guys, I think that we're going to call this a guide video. We have tested the Assassin in what I think is the best build for magic finding. We did P8 Cows, we did P8 Baalrun, and then we did a P1 Pits. I guess it's... there is no point showing you guys a P1 cow level. It's going to be absolute murder. Very cool character. I want to be upfront, this is not my favorite character. I feel it is a little bit clunky to play. But if you are someone who likes the Assassin and this type of gameplay, check this build out and you should be quite successful. So thank you guys for watching the video. Until next time, take care and I will see you soon.